Hi, this is Maria LiPuma from Body Confidence Solutions, and I hope you are well and taking good care of yourself today. In today's live video, I'm going to teach you a science-based technique that will enable you to curb your cravings. So if you're having uncontrollable food cravings and find yourself in self-sabotaging behaviors with food that result in maybe even binge eating, this technique is going to help you to get a handle on it. So if you are new to my group or you haven't watched any of my videos, you know that a lot of my own story and my weight loss journey and making peace with food, weight, and body image has really informed the work that I do today. And over my years of struggling with food, weight, and body image, I started at a very young age. I was 12 years old and I was 160 pounds, and then started the dieting craziness and started to off again, on again dieting, and learned to use food as a coping mechanism, and developed habits that really were not really in alignment with my health and fitness goals, but they sort of allowed me to self-medicate in a way. And so my journey of releasing excess weight and getting comfortable in a healthy body weight and having freedom around food has been one of many practices and many trainings. And I worked with addictions, I became a food psychology coach, I became a yoga teacher, and one of the things and so all of these practices have been really helpful in helping me to make peace with my body and food. But one of the core things that I use in my own practice and what I teach to my clients and students is something called emotional freedom techniques, EFT, or also known as tapping. And if you know me, you might already have done some tapping with me. But tapping, emotional freedom techniques, has been evidence-based now to show that it is very effective with food cravings. So the reason we get food cravings in the first place is because a lot of times we have a lot of stress going on in our body. And when we are stressed in our body goes into a fight, flight, freeze mode. And also cortisol and adrenaline and all of these excess hormones starts circulating in our body, and it gets us ready, prepared to take flight. It also creates cravings for sugary, starchy, carbohydrates, oily foods, because it sort of makes us feel better. It soothes us, it comforts us, especially if we're in a strong stress response. So there's a physiology as to why we get attracted and have food cravings, and there's also an emotional connection. Usually, if we've developed the habit of turning to food, it has given us comfort, it has made us feel safe, it has made us feel better in the moment. However, the bigger picture is that it also brings shame and remorse and guilt and feelings like there must be something wrong with me. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you, that you cultivated or developed a habit that in the moment or at the time helped you to navigate your life situation. And of course, it's not working any longer. And so you want to diminish those behaviors and replace them with behaviors that are more life-sustaining, more in alignment with your health and fitness goals. So I'm going to show you how to apply EFT tapping to help you to curb your cravings and address the underlying stress or even anxiety that's there that creates the cravings in the first place. I know for me, I had a lot of anxiety. When I took away my addiction to foods, I noticed that I was medicating anxiety. And that's because the energy is not flowing and the energy is sort of trapped in your body. So emotional freedom techniques is a meridian-based therapy that is really easy to apply. I've taught it to children as young as 3 years old. And it's based on stimulating various meridian points. So it's based on Eastern medicine, where we have meridian points in the body. And when there's blockages in the flow of energy, then we're in a stress response. And also, it affects, a stress response, of course, affects that part of the brain, the amygdala, that wants us to go into the fight, flight, freeze mode. So this technique has been demonstrated in research studies to lower cortisol levels much quicker than talk therapy or many other ways to try to do that. It's also been shown in brain scans with addictive cravings. There's a doctor, Dr. Peter Stapleton out of Australia, who's actually done MRI brain scans. And it turns out that with people that have strong food cravings, if you put the food that they crave in front of them, areas of the brain light up. And in this study Dr. Stapleton did, she took a group of people and she taught them this technique, this tapping technique. And over time, wasn't that much time, maybe a couple of weeks of consistent tapping, she did another brain scan and showing the food again, and those areas of the brain did not light up. So when you have addictive cravings, it is a physiological and emotional response, and sometimes our best intentions don't enable us to say no. So I'm going to encourage you to follow along with me today. If you are in a safe and comfortable place, I encourage you to take responsibility for yourself and follow along with me. If you're not in a place where you can do this, if you're driving or you're with other people, then you can come back to this video and do it when you are in a safe and comfortable place. So the first thing you want to do is you want to identify a food, a specific food that you have a craving for. Maybe you have a craving for it now, or maybe it comes up for you regularly. Maybe you do really well with eating healthy, and then all of a sudden you see this food, or you get a thought in your head that, oh, I just have to have some of this particular food. And it's usually a food that you're trying to avoid because maybe it's very high in calories, maybe it's not a food that you want to incorporate into your health and fitness goals. And I just want to say that, it's really important to be putting in plenty of healthy, nourishing foods, because when we are under eating and depriving ourselves of delicious, nutritious foods, that also sets up food cravings and it creates stress in the body. So taking that first, making sure that you're putting in regular foods, eating regular, is an important piece of this, and that'll help with food cravings. Not to put yourself in that deprivation mode where there's a part of you that just wants to break out and binge. So that being said, you're eating well, you're putting in the good stuff, you are taking good care of yourself in that way, and you still find that there's this one food or these couple of foods that really are bothersome. So I want you to identify one of them. Maybe you even have it in the house. Maybe you're a little uncomfortable even talking about it because you don't want to trigger that craving. Well, I want to tell you that one of the ways this works is that we don't want to suppress the craving. We want to allow the craving to move through us. And guess what? You can actually feel the craving. It can move through you and you don't have to act on it. I know that might be hard to believe because you might be in this pattern of as soon as you get the craving, you feel like you have to have it. But I'm going to teach you how to let the craving move through you, and then you do not have to act on it. As a matter of fact, once it moves through you, it's likely that the need for the food, that particular food, will diminish. So think about a food that you crave. If you want to get it in front of you, the more you can tune into what it feels like to crave that food, the more effective this will be. So think about the food, or maybe a time, if you're not craving anything right now, something that has been bothersome. And I want you to just, on a scale of 0 to 10, how strong is this craving for you, 10 being the most right now? And if not, I want you to just close your eyes and think about a time when that craving was just so strong, felt uncontrollable, you felt like you had to give into it. The higher you are on the scale, the better it is for these purposes, because we can start to release the need for that particular food. So once you do that, you can write down your number. Don't judge yourself about it, just notice. And then I'm going to guide you through a round of tapping. I'm going to say some words and I'd like for you to repeat them. You can add your own words if they don't feel true for you. But the way we start is we tap on the side of the hand. So it's a gentle tapping technique. Again, we're stimulating meridian points. And take a deep breath in and let it go. And as you're tapping on the top of the hand, we do something called a setup statement. The setup statement is acknowledging the problem and then we end it with a statement of acceptance. So even though I have this strong food craving, I accept myself and how I feel. Now, you might not feel that you are accepting yourself, so you want to say then maybe, wouldn't it be nice if I could be more accepting of myself? So acceptance of the problem, accepting how you're showing up is an important part of making peace with it. So tune into the food, notice how you feel when you think about it, notice the thoughts and feelings and emotions that it brings up. Maybe there's a sense of frustration, maybe there's a sense of powerlessness. Because usually a lot of these emotions that are connected to this food makes it even more triggering for us. So the craving, the physiological response, but there's also the emotional response to foods that we're craving. So we say the setup 3 times. Even though I have this strong food craving, and you can think about the food, you can say the food, you can tune into how it makes you feel that you have the craving. And then we say, I choose to accept myself and how I feel. Even though I have this strong food craving and I feel powerless over it at times, I choose to accept myself and how I feel. Good. And we start there and then we go through the points, and I'm going to guide you through the points on the face and upper body. And we repeat the setup in a shorter phrase. It's called the reminder phrase. So we start with the top of the head. Take a deep breath in and let it go. This strong food craving. And tune into the food and how you feel. And then on the forehead, the third eye, take a deep breath in and let it go. I feel powerless to say no to it. Take a deep breath in and let it go. This strong food craving. I sabotage myself time and again with this craving for this particular food. I have so much trouble saying no to it. The side of the eye, take a deep breath in and let it go. Underneath the eye. It feels like a real struggle. I don't want to give into it, because I feel shame and remorse. Top of the lip. But when the craving strikes, I feel powerless to say no. The crease of the chin. It feels overwhelming at times. On the collarbone, so just where the bone sticks up, that little indentation. I want to do the right thing. I want to release excess weight. I want to align with my health and fitness goals. And then these cravings take over, and I really struggle with them. And then underneath the arm, so it's just in line with the breast, underneath the arm. And you can do it this way too. You can do both at the same time. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Tap the top of the head, close your eyes and tune into the food and notice the thoughts and feelings and emotions that come up when you think about that food. It might even be bringing up a memory, because oftentimes we associate memories. Because the food in the moment gave us comfort. And sometimes the comfort is associated with experiences that we've had. So just allow your mind to wander with this as you're tapping through the points, again on the third eye, and notice the feelings and thoughts that come up for you. Maybe you feel angry at yourself. Maybe you feel frustrated on the eyebrow. Maybe you feel angry at someone else for bringing that food into the house. On the side of the eye, and you can do both hands or one hand. Either side works. Take a deep breath in, let it go. And going back to the food, maybe there's a ritual around the food that you enjoy. See yourself in your mind's eye, noticing what comes up for you, the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions, top of the lip. When that craving strikes, this relationship, this love-hate relationship you have with this food. Crease of the chin, take a deep breath in and let it go. And even though I have this craving, I still accept myself. Take a deep breath in again. Let it go. And then tap underneath the arm. One more time, the top of the head, breathing in and letting go. And then release your hands. You could shake out your body. If you have some water handy, it's great to drink water with this. I'm going to take a sip myself. And then check in with yourself. Go back to the original number and notice if anything has shifted, anything has changed. Maybe this, even the craving could even be stronger because sometimes we minimize how we feel. If it moves at all, that's a good sign, because if it gets stronger, it also can go down on the scale. Or maybe you feel some movement, or maybe you have some memories or some emotions that are connected to it. Because what happens with tapping is it actually gives us the ability to think clearer. Because when we're in that fight, flight, freeze mode, our blood vessels constrict in our brain and our thinking is not clear. And that's another reason why we turn to food. It's impulsive, it's reactive. But when we take the time to tap, all of a sudden we breathe a little deeper, the blood vessels are no longer constricted, and we get a cognitive awareness, we get some insights as to maybe some deeper drivers that are triggering the craving in the first place. So this is just a toe in. There are ways to go even deeper with this. I'm going to do another round where we're going to rephrase the setup so that we can feel more empowered. Okay? So start again on the karate chop on the side of the hand. Even though I've had this food craving for some time and it comes up now and then, today I can say no. Top of the head, I'm learning how to say no to foods that no longer serve me. I'm learning some techniques and practices that support my health and wellness goals. Today I choose to act on my own behalf, the side of the eye, and find ways to comfort myself and release stress that are much more healthy, more in alignment with my health and wellness goals. Underneath the eye, take a deep breath in and let it go. I choose to stand in my power today. Top of the lip. I choose to say no to foods that do not serve me. Crease of the chin. I choose to nourish myself with healthy foods. Value my body, respect my body on the collarbone. And tune into what that might look like and feel like to stand up for yourself, to take care of yourself, to draw healthy boundaries around food. I choose to release the need for these food cravings. Underneath the arm, and I choose to forgive myself and anyone else who's contributed to my challenges around food. And top of the head, I choose to stand in my power and take care of myself with love, honor, and respect. And then release your arm. You can shake it out, take a deep breath in. Tune into yourself, into your body. Notice if the number shifted at all. You can go back and replay this if you're feeling like the number is still high. Sometimes there are situations that need to be addressed. I had a client once that she had a strong craving for a specific food, and there was a family memory. So she was really craving connection with her family, and every time she ate that food, on some subconscious level, it just reminded her of connection with her family. So in some focused tapping one-on-one, we were able to get to the core of that and eliminated that craving from her. So this is just a toe in to this amazing practice. It is a wonderful practice to empower you to make healthy choices in your life, not only with food cravings, but in addressing other stress-related problems. And if you are with me still, I'm so happy that you joined me today. Thank you for popping on. And if you felt an effect with this, I would love to hear that in the thread. I'm looking forward to sharing with you again next week. Every Wednesday I go live in this group. In the meantime, if you have not got it already, I have an ebook, The 3 Essential Steps to Stop Emotional Eating. So it's new, it's revised. I will put the link to that underneath this video. And I'd love to hear from you. Did you tap along with me? Did it help with your food cravings? Is there something else that came up around this? Again, if you didn't shift the way you would like to, go back and keep working on it. And if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great Wednesday and look forward to next time. Bye now.